Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're kicking off a journey into one of the biggest shifts happening in cybersecurity right now, zero trust. I want you to try and forget everything you think you know about security. Firewalls, secure perimeters, all that stuff. We're about to dive into a totally new way of thinking, where the goal isn't just to build a bigger wall, but to really secure what actually matters. So let's get into it. So let's just jump right in with a pretty big question, right? Is your firewall obsolete? I mean, for decades, the entire game plan was to build a strong perimeter to keep the bad guys out. Simple enough. But in today's world of remote work, cloud apps, and countless connected devices, where exactly is that perimeter anymore? This isn't just a technical question, it's a fundamental challenge to the entire old way of doing security.
This comparison really gets to the heart of the problem. The old model was simple, a castle with a moat. We built a hard perimeter, we trusted everyone and everything inside it, and we blocked the outside world. But today's reality, it's completely different. Your workforce is remote, your most critical applications are in the cloud, and your partners need access. The castle has been replaced by a borderless, interconnected city. And that's exactly why we're calling this first section the collapsing castle. Here, we're going to break down precisely why that old fortress model is failing, and failing badly in the face of modern threats.
Okay, let's look at the specifics. First off, that perimeter, it hasn't just moved, it's basically vanished, gone. Tools like VPNs, which were supposed to help, actually create new problems by exposing your entire network. And at a really fundamental level, the protocols our internet is built on, like TCP/IP, they trust connections, not identities. And that leads us to the biggest flaw of all. Once an attacker gets inside, they can move around with ease because the system just assumes they're safe. That's an assumption we just can't afford to make anymore. So, if the old way is broken, what's the solution? Well, this brings us to the zero trust mindset. And it's really important to understand this isn't just a new product you can go out and buy. It's a strategic realignment of your entire security thinking. It all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful mantra from the guy who created the concept, John Kindervag. Never trust, always verify. This is the philosophical core of zero trust. It completely flips the old model on its head. Instead of trusting by default, we verify by default. Every single time. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, zero trust is a strategy that starts with a pretty stark assumption. A breach is either going to happen or it probably already has. When that's your starting point, you can no longer afford any implicit trust. You have to explicitly and continuously validate every user, every device, and every connection request, every single time they ask. This shift in mindset leads to a huge change in what we're actually trying to protect. It becomes all about focusing on what truly matters. The old way, that castle and moat model, was all about protecting the network itself. We poured all our effort into securing the perimeter, just assuming that if the network was safe, everything inside it was safe too. But the new way, the zero trust way, completely changes the focus. It's no longer about the network, it's about protecting the specific resource, the application, the data, the asset itself. This is such a crucial shift. Why defend a whole castle when what you really care about is the treasure in a single room? And this brings us to a key concept, the protect surface. Instead of a massive, sprawling attack surface that's impossible to defend, Zero Trust asks you to identify your most critical data, applications, assets, and services, your DAS. This small, manageable area is what you build your security around. It's just a much more focused and effective approach. And the result is what you could call an invisible fortress. For an unauthorized user, your network is completely dark. They can't see or scan for applications because from their perspective, those apps don't even exist. The attack surface is effectively gone. But for an authorized user, they get direct, secure access to only the specific resource they need and nothing else. They can't see anything else on the network, which dramatically limits the blast radius if their credentials ever get compromised. Now, this might sound complex, but adopting zero trust is a manageable journey, not some massive one-time project. And that's exactly what this entire Explainer series is all about, guiding you on that journey, step by step.
And that journey follows a very clear 5-step roadmap. First, you define your protect surface. Second, you map how traffic and data moves across it. Third, you build the right architecture to support it. Fourth, you create the granular policies to control it. And finally, you continuously monitor and maintain the whole environment. In our upcoming explainers, we're going to do a deep dive into each and every one of these 5 steps.
But before we wrap up this intro, I want to elevate the conversation. Because Zero Trust isn't just about building a better fortress. It's about delivering real, tangible business value. First, it makes your business way more resilient. By reducing that attack surface and containing breaches to a tiny blast radius, you can get back to normal operations much, much faster after an incident. You're not just preventing attacks, you're minimizing their impact when they inevitably happen. Second, and this might be surprising, it actually makes your business more agile. With a strong Zero Trust foundation, you can adopt new technologies faster and more securely. You can integrate a newly acquired company without the absolute nightmare of merging two insecure networks. You can enable secure remote work from literally anywhere, giving your teams the flexibility they need without compromising security. And finally, there are some pretty significant cost and compliance benefits. You can reduce spending on complex, expensive, old-school hardware. Compliance gets way easier because every single access request creates a perfect audit trail. And by simplifying your architecture, you naturally lower your overall IT and operational costs. So we'll end with this thought. If we accept that core idea of Zero Trust, that a breach is inevitable, the most important question isn't, can we stop it, but is our security ready for what happens next? Join us for the rest of this series as we show you exactly how to answer yes to that question. Thanks for watching.